What's up, YouTube? This is your big bro, King Jabez, back today with another very important message. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, leave a comment, let me know what you think about my content. In addition to that, please feel free to follow me over on Instagram at the King Jabez. And for those who want to talk to me one-on-one, I do offer consultations. Whatever you decide to do, it will be greatly appreciated. Let's do some work. Today's video is entitled, Message for the Chosen Ones. You don't care. And they hate this. Let's tap in today and really explain what I mean by that. So, off top, this is not a message that is suggesting or encouraging or leading men and women to be callous. I don't believe in that. I believe having emotions is a part of being human and is a part of what it means to be created in the image of God, because God is not an emotionless being. We have to be careful of being emotional or controlled by our emotions. That's one thing. But that's one extreme, right? And the other extreme is an individual who just becomes callous and just basically cruel, mean-spirited, messy, I hate to say it flat out, just become evil. And you got to be careful just becoming just evil. You know what I mean? And because that is evil, to just not care about people at all. So we're not suggesting that. What we're suggesting today is no longer allowing people's perceptions to affect you. People can kind of tell. People are smart, right? We have a lot of divine intelligence given to us from God. Some more than others, obviously. But generally speaking, people who have intelligence have, a certain level of intuition, a certain level of can kind of figure people out, right? We all have that. And people can kind of tell when you are really impressionable. Right, they can tell when you really care what they think, and they start using that as strings to kind of play with you, right? Play you, right? And from that space, they have control over you to a certain degree. And I've noticed from my life, because I've been there, we all grow, right? I've had times in my life when I cared a little too much about what people thought about me. That's a mistake. And again, the other extreme is to not care at all, and that's not what I'm suggesting in this video. What I'm suggesting is not caring to a point where people can control you. That's the purpose of this message. When people can tell and they have that power over you, and when that power has been removed because your confidence has increased, they feel that. And that bothers them. So this happens a lot with your relationship with your parents. Right? When you get to a place when mom and dad can no longer control you. There are people, in their 20s and 30s who still get ran by mama. I'm going to just keep it a stack with you. And some of y'all, that might be kind of personal. Mama, nothing wrong with respecting your mother. You're supposed to respect your mother, right? Your father. But to just let them just run your life and you grow now, you don't see a problem with that? That's not the design or order of God. The order of God is growth, maturity. You're your own man now, okay? Say that flat out, I'm going to say it for you. You're your own woman now. It's good to reflect on the lessons from mama. This is very personal. And daddy, I do that too. Even at my big age, I still reflect on lessons from my father. Lessons from mama, lessons from grandma, lessons from my aunties, lessons from my uncles. That's because that's a part of your upbringing. And that stays with you your whole life, right? So that's normal to a degree. And we're not against that. That's a normal process of learning, growth, and development. We all go through that, right? We all had family. But the problem is when you let people just run you. You understand? That's what we're talking about. I think you all get that. Control you. And you got to be careful with that. So sometimes it happens with parents. I'll tell you what also happens with sometimes. A boss or manager at work. Now, naturally, as a superior, they have a certain level of authority over you. That's just common sense. And nothing wrong with submitting to your authority. That's the biblical thing to do, according to Romans 14. And when you do that, this brings favor to your life. So it's important that we respect those who deserve respect. The Bible says to give honor to whom honor is due. And I am a man of honor. I believe in giving honor. I receive honor from people because I've given honor. So I understand how that process works. That's something I've done my whole life. We're talking from the streets of Chicago. We're talking when I was in school. We're talking when I was in the workforce. We're talking even now online. I know how to respect people. And because when you give respect, you get respect. When you show people a level of courtesy, a level of, I'm going to respect you as a man, as a woman, until you show me otherwise, right? Until you show me I should look at you differently. You see what I'm saying? But just off the cuff, I'm gonna treat you How, in other words, Nipsey said this, there's a certain way that you treat a woman, right? As a man, obviously, I don't treat a woman like I would treat a man. And vice versa, there's a way that I operate with men that I won't operate with women. There's a way that I operate with children, okay, that I don't operate with other adults. And of course, in more specific context, is the way I operate with my own children, right, as opposed to other people's children. So it's all about order, is what I'm trying to say. Things should be done decently and in order. And so when you treat women, generally speaking, the way they want to be treated, you're good, right? And we treat men, generally speaking, the way they want to be treated, you're good. What happens is people allow bitterness, let's just be real, okay? We get a little touchy now, hurt from previous relationships to affect their current relationships. So because you had bad experiences with men in the past, you want to now just get down on all men. That's a bad move. Because you had bad experiences, I know I'm coming for it. I'm coming. You had bad experiences with women in the past. You want to now treat all women bad. That's a bad move, gang. Right? I was taught by one of my mentors, people are like trees. Everyone has to stand on their own limbs. Period. So you gotta, we had to stop this generalization when it comes to other people. Because if you do that, you will never have any healthy relationships with nobody. You can forget it. If you just walk around, you just submit yourself to the spirit of bitterness and hate, respectfully to you, good luck with life. You're not gonna make it. I'm gonna tell you flat out. You ain't gonna make it, gang. You're not gonna make it. You have to learn, and some of you don't know. I mean, this is this stuff isn't always taught. Women had to learn how to treat men. Men had to learn how to treat women. It is. I'd be thinking it'd be basic, but it ain't basic. I had to learn that. So I think back now, my experience being a little person now, when I started my career in my 20s, I can be honest, I didn't really know how to operate with women as a professional, if that makes sense. Because I was used to working with men all the time. Right? I worked with men at college, high school, growing up, coaches, my fathers, uncles. I had a bunch of boy cousins growing up, older cousins. And so as I got older, I had to learn how to treat women as opposed to interact with men, right? And I know that's common sense, but really it isn't. Especially when you're working with women every day for 40 hours, 8-hour shifts. And I had to learn, okay, this is how there's a level of wisdom there. This is how I can be sociable with a woman without becoming flirtatious. And this is how I can become kind without being a pushover. There's a balance there, because if you're too kind, you're a pushover. If you're cruel, they think this guy crazy. So it takes a certain level of finesse. You gotta be wise, right? And some of you guys, I'm giving you some game right now. You work with women, use some wisdom. Use some wisdom. You don't want to make them uncomfortable about being just walk around like a drill sergeant. You feel me? And then you don't want to be too friendly either, because they're gonna talk about you. Ladies, you know I'm telling you, they're gonna talk about you. They're gonna be gossiping about you. So you got to be smart. So these are just a few of the lessons I learned by experience, being in the workforce for 5 years at a time, same job, 7-8 years straight, and you learn these different types of things. So what I've learned from my work experience, as well as family and just real life, when people can perceive that you don't care to a point where it controls you, that garnishes respect. People respect that. It shows that you are stable. That shows a level of confidence. Let's just keep it plain. People respect confidence. The Bible says this: cast not thy confidence behind you, for in keeping it. Did you know this in the Bible? Did you? The Bible got a lot of game. For in keeping it is a great reward. This is in the Bible, by the way. The Bible isn't just a book of do's and don'ts, by the way. I'm giving you, the Bible is full of game for how to live life from the Creator himself. You dig? So the Creator is saying through his book, you hear me, that confidence, it puts this aura around you, right? It creates this space where people got to kind of respect you. That's what it is. You see, if a man or woman carries himself like they're confident, this has been my experience, you got to kind of just jump out there to disrespect them. And some people will do it too. And then when they do that, you can kind of put them in their place or walk away from them, whatever you got to do. Because some people will just jump out there and just disrespect you. So I'm the type of person, I'll be minding my business. You can tell I'm confident. Some people jump out there. In my mind, okay, they just jumping out there. You just jumped out there like out of airplane with no parachute. Just boom, just out of control, right? And you get people like that too who will just jump out there. And I've learned how to deal with them too. Just kind of ignore them. Because that was crazy. And you know that, I know that. Kind of leave them where they at, walk away, smile, smirk at them. But what is my point? people can tell when you believe in yourself. And when you do, it's kind of, honestly, it's commendable. And you respect that. If I see somebody, I can tell they respect themselves. You kind of hitting out. I'm like, that's cool. I respect that. Someone walking around like they don't know who they are, kind of insecure, nervous. People are going to treat you in any kind of way if you do that. So keep your confidence. And this is a big part of this message. So this message is about having confidence, right? And that comes from work. You can't be confident about nothing. Let's just be real. If you're working on self through your mind, your spirit, and your body, and making good decisions each day, this will lead you to have a level of confidence. And you kind of, this is a long way, 11 minutes of saying you're unbothered. That's basically the message today. Being unbothered doesn't mean that you're arrogant. Let me say that, because some people will take this as you're, I've been through this too. You're arrogant. No, I'm not arrogant. I just have confidence in myself. I've put in the work. I'm not confident in nothing. I carry myself a certain way. I have standards. I have principles for my life that I try to live by. I believe in God. I take care of myself. I'm careful what comes out of my mouth. I know the power of words. Is life, and for the purpose of YouTube, unalive is in the tongue. So I understand a lot, and this is going to motivate me to live a certain way. And when you do this as a chosen man and woman, people will say you're arrogant. People will say, "Who do you think you are?" The question is, no, who do you think I am? That's what it is. And what it really is on a deeper level is they kind of feel away because they can't disrespect you. See, there are people out here, not everybody, but certain people that they kind of just want to test people. There are people who like to do that, like to play games. There are people who King Solomon says cannot even sleep unless they cause somebody to stumble. It's that serious. There are some people who literally can't sleep unless they are causing someone to stumble. People enjoy getting under your skin, right? If they can tell, I got you, right? There's some people like that. Not everybody, but some people like that. And when they can't, some people, I know, the ones that's messy, they'll make it their business, their goal to get to you, because they can see you have this confidence about yourself, and that you carry yourself with this aura that commands respect. Some of them will see you as a challenge and want to disrespect you. But even with them, as you continue to stay solid over time, they will be forced to respect what you got going on. So the message is clear as I kind of wrap this up. Chosen ones, you don't care, and they hate this. And they hate this because you are presenting yourself as a man that they can't control. You are presenting yourself as a woman that they can't control. And this gives you a certain level of power. So, you know how I roll my channel? This is Iron and Soul. It's all about all three: spirit, soul, body. Okay, let me say this as I wrap this up. I'm gonna keep on reiterating this because this is what this is all about. What is Iron and Soul? Iron and Soul is extreme mental anguish that enters a person's spirit, mind, your soul, and it causes pain in you. And when you allow the Most High, good decision making, character building, mentorship, a lot of things, getting yourself into shape, working hard each day, if you basically become a thorough person, that iron in the soul can make you strong as iron. So that's why I'm all about that. That's why it's Iron and Soul. That's why people call me Big Iron, Big Bro. I'm about that. We want to be solid out here. Let me talk my stuff now. We want to be solid. I want you to be solid men, solid women. Not perfect, but stand up. Own your business. People got to respect you because they see you're about your business. That's what we're talking about. And when I see you doing that, man, Big Bro, proud of you. I mean, let me say that again. I like to see y'all. A lot of y'all follow me on social. I follow some of y'all back too as well. I can't follow everybody, of course, but I follow a lot of you back. And I see a lot of you get into it. Working in the gym, doing music, trying to build your business. And so when you do that, this is showing people by your actions, not just talk. A lot of people can talk. A lot of people do this here. Just all mouth. Okay? Ain't finna go to the gym. I'm gonna keep the mouth going. Just See, you guys see this if you watch this far. Ain't finna go to the gym. Ain't finna lift no weights. Ain't finna read no books. Ain't finna pray. Ain't finna meditate. Ain't finna work. Ain't finna do nothing. So this here. Talking. And when you're constantly doing this and no action, you lose a lot of energy. Some of you get managed. That's you. All the energy you're just losing. Won't stop. And that's effort that you could be putting into actually doing something. Okay, and that's what I'm talking to them. I'm talking to men and women who are doing something. In other words, Big Ross, I see you. A lot of y'all doing what you need to do. And that will and does command respect. So, in conclusion, I think the message is clear. Chosen ones, you don't care anymore, and they hate this. So, remain solid, and things will get better day by day. This is your Big Bro King Jabez. Thanks for listening. God bless.